Hey there YouTube, welcome back to a bit of an impromptu video. So basically I just had this parcel arrive from Sarisa, and it's basically the new Gangs of Rome starter set and some scenery. So I decided to go for like the first tier of their scenery options. Which I think was like I think it was like £95 for the starter set, and I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3 pieces of terrain. Now I do actually have the very first box set of or starter set of Gangs of Rome, so I do have the, or at least somewhere in storage, I should have the sort of ruined house that you got in that, or the ruined temple, and I've also got a I think I've got like another Roman temple, like a fully built Roman temple, scenery wise, it's unmade, so hopefully I'll come across that at some point too. And of course I think I also have the market stall as well, so I've got like various got like the slave auction stand and the cage and the market traders stalls, stuff like that. So hopefully, like I say, hopefully I'll come across the 2 buildings that are in storage. I think, I can't remember if I might have something else as well. I really can't remember. But at the moment, obviously, they're missing. So, at the moment, I'm not counting my chickens. So I will literally just have what scenery I've got here. However, it's 2 or 3 buildings. That's enough for a small table. And my big problem is that I do not have a lot of room in my flat. It's basically about as small as you can get. I think even a 4x4 would push me for room, because I'm in a wheelchair. If I was, if I had 2 legs, it'd be slightly different, because obviously I'd have a little more leeway in moving around. But yeah, I just, even though I have got the rule book already, I decided to invest in this box set, because I believe most of my gangs have been damaged during the move as well. So it'd be handy to to more or less start from fresh. So the first thing that actually popped out was a couple of those the equivalent of Roman Street Police, the Urbani, that you get for free. I've actually already got a packet of these guys, so I've got a double now. I think I got them from the Kickstarter of the original hardback book. Here's the terrain set. It's 2 buildings, both kind of under construction. I kind of prefer this type of scenery, because obviously it gives you lots of stuff to sort of climb around and climb over. So I thought that would be better than like completed buildings. Yeah, I thought it was quite a good deal. But obviously it's got to be painted and stuff, which is not so good, but you can't have it all, I suppose. And then here finally is the actual starter set itself. So let's get that out. I'm not too sure about the plastic figures. I was never a big fan of them from when they were first sort of shown. The idea of having to make your mobs out of them really doesn't appeal to me that much. But again, hopefully I might be lucky and come across my 3 or 4 stands of mobs that I actually brought when I was first getting into Gangs of Rome. So I'm hoping I'll come across those, because obviously they're made up of proper civilian figures, and they're not going to be made up of stupid gangers that are trying to be civilians, which is kind of why I think it's a bad idea to make the the sort of the mob gangs out of your plastic figures. So before we crack this open, let's just have a quick read about what it says on the back here about what you actually get. So it looks like you get another under construction building, which is really cool. So it looks like you get so I've got another rule book. That's a little bit annoying, but there's nothing you can do about that really. You get 30 plastic Roman citizens to make your gangs and 3 mob groups out of. That's the kind of thing that annoys me. Making mob groups out of the same figures that you're making gangers out of, that's kind of annoying. You get your MDF bases. You get Roman numeral dice and damage dice. Your activation markers and objective markers, etc. And your building, which is a 4K under construction. So yeah, that's what you get. Pretty good, fairly decent price for what you get, I think. So I forgot you need to actually cut a couple of pieces of sticky tab to actually get into it. There we go. So let's get this open. I will, of course, also forgot to mention that hopefully you should get this limited edition figure here, which is really cool. Oh, and there she is, in fact. Oh, that's yeah, that's a great figure. Kind of chuffed to get her. So here we have the dice. I've actually got loads of these type of dice from the old set. Here we have the plastic gangers, which you know, I can instantly see that they're going to kind of annoy me a little bit. Like A, they're all male, so you can't have like a mixed mob. B, you've got to make your gang out of these, so it's basically like having carbon copies of your gang in the civilian mobs, which kind of annoys me as well. I'm not one really for plastic figures, to say the truth. I don't know what I'll do with these. I don't know whether I'll use them or not, but you get them. So I guess that's probably about a box worth. So it's not bad as far as sort of value goes. Here's the scenery. It's actually a lot smaller than I thought. Hold on, let's just. And of course, your hardback rule book, which again, like I say, I've already got. And your tokens again, which I've already got, I believe. So, oh no, that's right. It just looks a lot less exciting in person than it does on the back. But I guess it looks smaller, or it looks bigger in the picture than it does actually in hand, because there's not much here, I can tell you. Yeah, it's kind of just literally like sort of more or less like a corner of a house by the looks of it. Yeah, not particularly amazed with this bit of terrain, to tell the truth. I missed it, but I think the better deal would have been that baker's shop from the second edition of the starter set. But yeah, anyway, it's another piece of terrain, I suppose. So, what are my thoughts on this? I got to admit, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. I mean, at the end of the day, I've got another rule book which I didn't really need. I got more tokens that I didn't really need. The building is kind of underwhelming. The plastic figures I'm not keen on. It's like, yeah, you know, you get a good value out of them, but I'm not a big fan of them. Actually, I haven't come across the MDF bases. I wonder where they are. Because you're supposed to get them. I'm sure of it. Precision cut MDF bases for fighters and mobs. Well, I haven't seen any of those. They're definitely not. Oh, actually, that could be them inside the building there. Inside the building pack. That looks like bases to me. So, yeah, that's a little bit confusing perhaps. It looks like the bases for your figures are actually packed in the building. Which could be, you know, I can imagine this problem coming up quite a bit actually. So if you happen to be watching this before you opened yours, I'm pretty sure that they're inside the building, the MDF bases. So yeah, that's that. That's the end of this little unboxing. What are my thoughts? I think if you didn't have the rulebook already, it'd be a great set. Obviously, I'm slightly different because I'm not a big fan of plastic figures for gangers and mobs. You know, if there was like a mixture of males and females, then perhaps so, but they're all male, so you know, that's kind of not very inspiring, you know, not very thought inspiring to make a sort of, you know, decent sort of gang up out of like the set options that you get. You know, you're basically going to get people coming up with the same sort of gang as you, and then the mobs are all going to look the same too. It's kind of pointless really. But I do really like the limited edition miniature, and like I say, it's I think the actual like value of it's pretty decent, and I think the terrain set that I got with it is pretty decent too. So overall, if I was to mark it out of 10, I'd probably say maybe a 7, maybe 7 out of 10. It's a decent price. I'm not, you know, if you love your plastics, it's even better. I don't, you know, I think. If you know, you're making your gangs out of them for starters, and then you've got to use them as mobs as well. I mean, yeah, fair enough. If you had like other mobs as well, perhaps you can mix them in. So you know, if I had to find my other mobs, then perhaps I could mix them in to make them unique. But in my opinion, the way that the plastic sprues have been designed, they've been designed as gangers. They're not being designed as civilians. So, you know, even though you get the odd like civilian arm, they, you know, that doesn't really mean much to me. They're all like posed to be like gangers and stuff like that. It's, you know, I mean, this guy in the loincloth here, you wouldn't get a civilian dress like that. In fact, you probably wouldn't even get a ganger dress like that. That's more like a sort of an ex-slave or something. I mean, I kind of read it. I guess it's, if you put like a toga top on or something, then it kind of makes for a proper civilian attire. But I don't know. I just can't get motivated about these plastics. It looks like you actually get, I don't know, are they female heads? No, they're not. They're all male heads. And I'm pretty sure the bodies are male too. Yeah. Yeah, they're all males. So yeah, like I say, obviously if you're into your plastics, you might give it a slightly higher score. For me, I'd give it a down score because I've had to buy the rulebook again. I understand it. You know, it's my choice. You know, it's not my fault that I moved and I happened to lose or damage a lot of my stuff during the move. I did actually find about maybe 6 or 8 of the guys from my old group, the fighters, so I can reuse those. And I've also got the newer figures that came with the Kickstarter. So, like for instance, I've got like the Daughters of Sappho and the Acrobats and all that sort of stuff. So I have got like extra figures. It's just that I'm not, to me, I never found the plastic set that exciting in the first place, which is why I never bothered to buy one in the first place. And I guess that's why, the idea of having to make your gang and mobs out of basically the same figures, because you only get like about 5 poses on a sprue. I just think that's going to be really boring. Boring to construct and boring. Maybe. Well, I suppose you can change the colours up and stuff when you paint them, but it's not awe-inspiring me to want to go and crack out. Go to my painting desk immediately and start sniffing out plastic and putting them together. In fact, it's almost kind of done the opposite, and it'll probably end up sitting around for months and months with me just looking at it going, should I do this? Nah, I can't be asked. So I guess you could say, maybe ask the question like, why did I even bother? Well, maybe I should ask myself that. Anyway, that's the end. Hope you enjoyed it, and catch you all next time. Bye bye.